So as time goes on, we look at them one after the other. So once again, good afternoon. Today, the topic before us is on values, raising children with great values. When we are done with raising children with great values, we'll go on to the others later in the year: child development, child behavior. Why do children behave the way they do? What are different kinds of behavior we expect in children? As a mother, when you know this, you have this information already. When your child start behaving, start exhibiting different kinds of behavior, you will know that, okay, you're already prepared for that child. You already know, it's already expected. So you're not thinking of what to do, you already know what to do. So it is good for us to equip ourselves with this knowledge. Finally, education. There's a lot to be said under education. If I start now, I will be distracted. So I will not even go into education at all. When the time comes, we are going to do justice to that topic by God's grace. Why are we in this class? Professional parenting. Professional parenting is important because we go to school to learn different things to become professionals. How to be a professional nurse, how to be a doctor, how to be an engineer. But we forget to equip ourselves with the knowledge that we need to succeed in parenting. And that is why we are organizing this webinar. That raising children is an assignment for which all parents will be measured. How you raise your child. So you can't afford to, to do this business anyhow, because you are going to account for it. You are going to explain to someone, the person that gave you that child, how you have trained that child. And if you don't have enough knowledge to do that, you need to seek for knowledge. The word of God says, train up a child in the way he should go. When he is old, he will not depart from it. When he's old, you will not do your own part to train your child, even if it is looking as if the child wants to go haywire or wants to go his own way. Once you have done the needful from the onset, if the child wants to go haywire, say, okay, if this is what he wants to do, but remember, I am waiting for you here, just like the prodigal son. As the child is going, the child will be remembering, my mommy is waiting for me. My mommy has taught me the right thing. My mommy has shown me the right way. So that cord is still there. If the child wants to go, the child cannot go far, because you have prepared the mind of that child. You have trained that child. The child will still come back. We need to play our role as parents. Does training a child require professionalism? Yes, training a child requires professionalism, and that is the essence of this training. Value. What do we understand by the word value? What are your values as a human being? Or what kind of value are you impacting into the life of these children? Are you impacting the values deliberately? Are you impacting the values passionately? Or you are just doing it unconsciously? We need to impart values in our children consciously. And why are we looking at values as part of training children? When we train our children up in good values in our families, then it's going to impact in the society. All sectors in society will benefit from it, starting from your own family. You will benefit from it as a family, because you are going to bring up children that will represent you, will live quality lives. Someone said, what is the essence of quality life? When everyone is still going to die at the end of the day. Quality life is important, because if you live a reckless life, number one, your own life is useless to yourself and you are not useful to the society also. But we want a family, we want children that are useful to themselves, useful to their family members, and also useful to our society. If that is in place, then we'll have a society that is great. We have a society whereby everybody wants to live there. You see situation whereby people will be running to a particular country. It's because they have built their own country based on good, strong values. And we cannot say we want to just go there. When we have our own work to do, we refuse to do it. I think nature is going to hold us responsible. Nature is going to hold us accountable for what we did not do, for our own negligence. And we don't want that to happen. We don't want that to happen to us. And that is why we need to play our own role. Oftentimes, when people go for interviews, they will ask them, who are you? And you know, when they ask you, who are you? At times in the interview, you are embarrassed. Say, what do you mean? Okay, my name is this. Start saying your name, you start saying your qualification, and start, you know, with my rolling, trying to look for what to say. But when they ask you a question, who are you? What that person is trying to ask you, what are your values? What are the things you place in high esteem? What are the things that matter to you? What quality of life do you live? So the person might not be expecting you to be saying your name. The person is expecting you to say your values. You know, who are you means what are your values? What are the things that are important to you? How can you define yourself? At times they will say, define who you are, explain who you are. Value is the quality of anything which renders it desirable or useful. Value, in layman language, in general terms, something that is valuable. Value is the quality of anything which renders it desirable or useful. But the kind of value we are talking about today is ethics. Ethics, ethics. So today's definition of value is value means the degree of importance of something, someone, or action. The degree of importance of something, someone, or action. So we are talking about ethics today. But I needed to refer to the first definition because I want to pick that word, quality. 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 So I'm using the two words interchangeably, quality and importance. The importance that of something to you, that's your value. So the first thing we are going to be talking about today is what is the benefit of good values, great values. And I've said it, the benefit of great value is that you are going to live a quality life for yourself, for your children, your family, and then it will impact on the society. The society will be happy that you have come into this world to turn things around. Benefit of knowing your value. Some people don't know their value, but when you know your value, they offer us a solid and guiding foundation which we can rely on during tough times. When you are in a tough time, your value is the one that will clear those tough times, that will make way, make room for you because you already know who you are. You know the things to place in high esteem. Values help us to live well and authentically. What that means is that if you have values, great values, your own values as a human being, then you can live original lives. I've heard people, not one, not two, telling me that when I'm in a discussion with them, that I've been living someone else's life. And I'm like, how can you be living someone else's life? You know, say that is the truth. I've been living someone else's life. And now I want to begin to live my own life. So when you have values, you will not just be living other people's life. Pick up this person's life today. Tomorrow, you remove it. Pick up another person's life. Then when are you going to start living your own life? You will start living your own life when you begin to have values. When you begin to define your life, that's why, who am I? As the interview question, who are you? Can you explain in one sentence who you are? If you can do that, then you begin to live authentic life. Knowing your values helps you in decision making. Knowing your values helps you in decision making. That's when it's very important. At times you are faced with a terrible situation and you don't even know what to do. But what do? You go back to yourself, you look at inward and say, okay, who am I in this situation? Who am I? Then that will help you to make decisions. Because if you seek opinion, you can only seek opinion from people, but you cannot literally take decisions based on their opinion. You have to take their opinion, then take it in and look at it vis-a-vis who you are. If their opinion is not in line with your kind of person, do you know what is going to happen? You are going to take that decision based on their opinion, but you'll be unhappy, you'll be unfulfilled, you'll be uneasy, and then you'll be uncomfortable. But you need to be comfortable, you need to be happy, you need to be fulfilled. Therefore, you need to look inward before you take decisions. And it is your values that will help you in that decision making. Okay, as we begin to look at the values, some of these values now, you understand better what I'm talking about. Values help in decision making. If you find yourself that you're always in indecision, you find it difficult to decide things, you're always struggling, just know that your values are not right. That means you've not clearly stated who you are and you've not clearly stated your values. Your values are like your timetable. Remember we discussed timetable under health. Yes. So you want to cook this afternoon now. I'm going to use that as an example for those of us that attended that training. So you want to cook this afternoon. If you have timetable, are you going to be thinking of what to cook? No, you are not going to think of what to cook. You just do what? Check your timetable. In the evening too, you check your timetable. So timetable helps you not to start thinking of what to cook. And as you are not thinking of what you want to cook, it's already there on the timetable, and you're already rest assured that when you follow that timetable, your family will live a healthy life. That is how it is also in values. When you have values, you don't need to think too long to take decisions. Just check, how would this decision I want to make, look at your values. Are they in line with my values? Okay, so what's my value? My value is that I need to do this. I need to uphold my values. So you take that decision. If it's not clear now, don't worry. By the time we start looking at values now, it will become clearer. How values help you to take decisions easily. So you must have values. Values prevent indecision. They inspire us to stay true to who we are and who we want to be. Okay, I'm going to emphasize who we want to be. So if you have your values, so that means that values is not just who you are in the past. It can be who you want to be also. That, okay, I want to be this kind of a person, and now these are my values. So stating out these values categorically helps you to be who you want to be. Who are you? I'm asking the question again because you need to know who you are. Then you can now say you want to help the child that you love. Who are you? And what kind of value do you have that you can impact in the life of your children? How do you know your values? Okay, before I go on, I need someone to send a message that the screen, we can all see the screen I'm sharing. Okay, just send the chat that we are in order with screen sharing. And that you can hear me. If you can hear me, just send a message, a chat that we are in order. You can hear me and you can see my screen. Thank you. How to know your values. Pay attention to the key choices you make. Number one, pay attention to the key choices you make. Thank you. God bless you. Pay attention to the key choices you made. Then name the value behind this choice. That's how to know your values. That's your past values, the values that you have been working with that you don't know. Okay? Look at all the key choices you have been making. Then that will give you an idea of your values. If you have been making choices that is looking like, okay, you like something, hey, those are your values. If you are making choices that is tending towards you dislike something, that is your value. Then you identify authentic and inauthentic values. What I mean by that is, if you have made choices in the past and in those choices you were not happy at the end of the day, you were not comfortable, maybe somebody made it on your behalf or you even did and you were not happy about it, then you know that they are inauthentic values. Authentic values are those ones that after you made those choices, you are okay, that yes, I'm the one that made the choice, you are happy. Okay, so those choices are the ones you concentrate on, the choices you made and you were happy. The values, look at the values behind those happy choices. They are your values. List your top values and reflect on them. After you have listed out the values behind your choices that you have made that made you happy, the ones that didn't make you happy are not your values. Then you now start reflecting. These values, are they good values? Are they values I can transfer to my children? If I transfer this value to my children, am I helping the society? At the end of the day, will the society be a place where I want to live? If all the children are trained under me, if all the children in the whole world or in this society where we are in now or in this country, if all the children in the whole world are trained by me, are we going to have a good country? Are we going to have a good society? Then you ask yourself those questions. Now, if your answer is no, then you can now say, okay, let me begin to do what? Add to my values and remove. Then you begin to do addition and subtraction. You begin to do addition and what? Subtraction. So fact about values. Values are not fixed. What do we mean by values are not fixed? It means that from what I said, if you discover that your values are not good, you don't say, these values are not okay, but then what will I do? I've grown up with values like this. That's how I was brought up. I just have to continue like that. No. Even if you're 90 years old, there is still room for what? Change. People change their values unconsciously. So why can't you change your own consciously? Yes, they are not fixed. They can be tangible or intangible. It means that they can be, most times you look at values as something, things that are intangible. They can be tangible too. That's something that you can hold, feel. They grow and change as we do. Okay, I've discussed that before. Values change. They help us to know and define ourselves. Those are the facts about values. They help us to define ourselves. And then these values, whether we like it or not, we transfer them to our children. Someone said you cannot give what you don't have. You don't have something, how will you give it? You have to first of all get it for yourself before you can give it to somebody else. You want your children to have great values. Then how do they have great values when you don't have? Then someone says, okay, then I give up. Since I don't have those values that will make society a good one, then I give up. Let other people do the job. No, you can't afford to give up. You decide today, even as you are listening to this webinar, that I'm going to start working on my values. And that's our assignment for this webinar. We are going to write out the values we want, that will make this society a great one, that will make other people to want to come to you and say, let me also, do the way you are doing so that I can be a better person. And you are going to start with your own children. So you can even open up to your children. I've seen people that that even their children know the kind of behavior they exhibit, and they will be saying, I don't even want to be like my mommy. And you as a mother now realize that. What do? Do you shy away from it? Some of us shy away from it. We still insist that the child should have those qualities, those values, and they'll just be looking at it. You want me to do what you cannot do. What do you do in that kind of a situation, especially when your children are teenagers or they are advancing in age? Maybe they are in close to teenage, 10, 11, 9, and so on. You call them and say, this is what we have discovered. This is what we want to start doing in our family now. This is what we want to start doing in our house. We notice that, or I noticed that this and this value is lagging behind in our family. So children, can we work together to achieve it? Yes, open up to them. Even me at times, I fall victim. I try to do it, but I cannot achieve it yet. But we can achieve it together. Then you draw a plan. You do a template. I mean, for those that have older children now, that you can sit down, like friends, and reason with them. Not that you impose something on them, what you cannot do. You start imposing on your children. They just look at you that you are deceiving yourself. Such children, when they go haywire, they will not even look back because they know that you don't have anything to offer them. But once they know that they have learned good values from you, even when they go haywire, the cord, umbilical cord or whatever, that thing will still be drawing them back, that see the life you are living. Go back to the values your parents gave you. Go back. That one is better. It's better than this one. They can choose. They can discern which is right and which is wrong because you have given them the right thing. But if you have not given them the right thing, they believe that, and you are telling them to do the right thing, they believe that everybody is living in deception. They believe everybody is living in what? Deception. But when you are truthful to them, then they go ahead and trust you. So we can see the hand there that is saying that values are things that we're supposed to be cherished, that we're supposed to cherish. They are things that we should do what? We should cherish. Now we want to look at the values, some of them. Then from there you can now start looking at what will benefit your family, what will benefit your own society, where you are, and also how we can achieve these values. The first one on my list, in no particular order though, is respect for others. Respect for others. Some of these values might look archaic. It might look as if it's no more in vogue, but the truth of the matter is that that is what will make us great people, and that is what will make us have great children, that will make our society great. Respect for others is the first value on my list here, although there's no particular order for it, but it's the first one here, and it's very important because it is gradually, fading in our society. Now people believe that you don't have to respect other people. Now let us define respect first, because we have different opinions about respect. And then also I would like to define it so that you know the angle where I am looking at. Literally, it can be defined as, or someone defined it literally as, admiration for someone or something elicited by their abilities, qualities, and achievements. Admiration for someone or something elicited by their abilities, qualities, and achievements. That means you respect somebody based on the person's ability, quality, and achievement. Now, that is the respect that we all know. So we are here to talk about it, that it is, respect is not only when you don't only give someone respect because of best ability, quality, and achievement. Okay, if somebody has some particular kind of quality or achievement to begin to bow down to the person, give the person respect. No, it is not only that. Respect is also due regard for the feelings, wishes, or rights of others. I repeat, respect is due regard for the feelings, wishes, or rights of others. Do we consider that? Do we look at the rights of others? Do we try to respect the rights of others, whether the person is influential or has achieved something or not? Now, please, I want us to underline that word feeling, regard for feeling, because that is number one. That is the number one time I'm going to mention emotional intelligence. We need to respect the feelings of other people. That's how we can make our society a great one. If you don't respect other people's feeling, then there's a problem. There's going to be a problem. There's going to be a problem in the society. You don't respect other people's wishes and other people's rights. And that's what is happening in our society today. We only respect people based on their achievements, on their qualities, on their abilities, on their eloquence, on whatever. But what of those other people? The less privileged, people that have not achieved anything, the people that are still striving to achieve. We don't see them as anybody. We don't respect them. We don't think we can help them. We don't think we can assist them. We don't think we can even make them, to become who we are or better than what we are. And that is what we teach our children. That is the same thing we pass on to our children, and that's why our children, don't give people due respect. Respect is more than greeting, even though it's part of it. Under respect, we have greeting people and all that, but it's not just for you to say, I'm training my child to greet. Have you greeted? Greet. Greeting is good. It's part of it, under respect. But the value is not just to greet. It's the feeling, regarding people's feeling, and not the emotional intelligence. We need to begin to teach our children emotional intelligence so that when they grow up, they will become better people. They will be able to handle relationships. When you don't respect other people's feelings, how are you going to lead? How are you going to lead in an organization? How are you going to lead your family? How are you going to lead your religious organization? How will you be a leader, a good leader? A good leader respects the feelings of other people. I just mentioned you. Respect parents, grandparents, your teachers, domestic workers, and even less privileged. That is the kind of value we are talking about. Even though we know respect is an important value, but do we know it in this light? That is not just about greeting alone. Greeting is good, but let's define respect as due regard for the feeling, wishes, and rights of other people. Sit our children down, we teach them all these things. That you need to look at people on the road. Don't say because they are less privileged. Don't say because that you are better than them. You still need to give them their regard. You still need to hear them out. If you don't hear them out, you don't regard them, they will constitute nuisance. They will look for other means to terrorize those that are okay, that are respected. So we need to look at all these things. Respect for others is a great value we need to consider. Teach your child to respect other people's feelings. Not only parents, guardians, teachers, domestic violence people, even their peers. That is why there are bullies in places, because people don't respect other people's feelings. If you don't teach your child, for instance, to respect other people's feelings, your child might end up becoming a bully. They say, yes, he can stand up for his rights. You know, he's been other people in school, he's been other people when they go for social gatherings. Then nobody wants to be your child's friend, because you have not taught them respect your friend's feeling. When you are doing something and your classmates are not happy, Then that thing you are doing is not good. If everybody in your class, they're not happy about it, you ask them questions. What do you do in your class? Who are your friends? When they are mentioning that half of the class is not their friend, that's an indication. When they are mentioning that only one person, every other person is not their friend, that's an indication that maybe people don't like them because they are the bully. Oh, okay, no, I don't know your friend. You know, you start inquiring, maybe you are doing what they don't like. Don't conclude by saying, hey, they don't want to be my child friend, everybody doesn't want to be my child friend. Find out why. Maybe your child is doing what other people don't like. That he or she is hurting their feelings. Number 2, diligence. Diligence is another great value. I love this word very much. I take my time to study it because I feel I'm not diligent enough. I need to do more. Diligence means commitment. We teach our children commitment. Commitment to whatever task they have set their heart to do. It's a great skill if a child can learn to be committed, resilient, and persistent. At times, children can be very restless. Teach them to focus on a task and finish it. Determination, hard work, punctuality. These are different areas of diligence. So when we just say diligence and we don't mention these different areas, then we are speaking theory, not practical. So diligence is a broad word. What do you want your child to be diligent in? You want your child to be committed. You want your child to be determined to do something and do it well. Start the task, finish it. Hard work. Putting all energy to a task. Diligence also involves being punctual to anywhere you are asked to go. Punctuality to school, punctual to wherever you are, the child needs to get. So you teach them that punctuality too is part of what? Diligence. Self-motivation is part of diligence. When a child is not self-motivated, or when someone is not motivated, then the person can never be diligent. You are not motivated concerning something, you cannot put all your energy in it. You cannot be diligent in it. You need to have that motivation before you can go ahead to be diligent or to achieve the task. Eagerness to learn. Diligence also involves what? Eagerness to learn. These are good qualities we can write down and deliberately begin to teach our children. I know there is no time. We are very busy, but this is how to build a society. This is how to build a great nation. Who is going to be the president? Who is going to lead us aright? Who is going to direct us? If they don't have these qualities, and anybody will do it, and we still begin to complain and complain that there is something wrong when we don't know that we are the something or someone that is wrong. Number 3, appreciation. Appreciation is an old school word, and that is why our society is the way it is. Appreciation is old school. What does appreciation mean? It means to be grateful, gratitude, depending on the area you are looking at. Now, I am looking at the area, both areas, to be grateful and to have gratitude. Because in the society where we are in now, the slang is don't appreciate people so that they won't be proud. Or let me use the word, so that their head will not swell, as we say. And you say, this person has done well. Why don't you appreciate, praise that? If you praise them a little, human beings, that's how they are. Just let them continue doing that good thing. Don't praise them. You can praise them behind them, or don't even praise them at all. But when you praise them, now they will feel on top of the world. And so, because of this notion, many of us don't appreciate. We don't show appreciation when people do something to us or to society. When someone does something to society, why can't you just, okay, I appreciate your effort, what you have done. Wow, this is beautiful. Wow. You know, someone came to my office one day, 2 days ago, and was reading comments to me how he did some work and some people were appreciating the work. I was so amazed. In fact, I was wondering that are these people in the real world that we are? You know, the kind of comments they give is so scarce. People don't give comments about people anymore. About, you know, what, when they give great values, the only thing we can do is maybe we just not mention it, or we appreciate in our heart. But when you appreciate with your mouth, you say to that person that, ah, wow, job well done. Your child does something great. It is good. Rather, we say it is good, but it is okay, but why don't you say that it is good? It is great. Say the good part. Even if you have your reservations, later you cannot say, okay, for the purpose of next time, it can be better and all that. But for that moment, let's learn to say it is good. And when your child sees you doing that, you know, then the person knows that, okay, it's not always bad every time. Because at times our children feel there's nothing they can ever do right. Because I don't know whether we are perfectionists. As teachers, parents, mothers, is it that these children don't do anything right at all? They never do things right, that we cannot appreciate? We cannot appreciate them. If you don't appreciate, then they will just feel, well, there is nothing I can do to please this woman. Let me just continue to be a bad person. We compare every time. Look at your sister, look at your sister, look at your brother. Can't you be like your brother? Can't you be like your sister? And the child is frustrated. I don't want to be like my brother. I'm not my brother. I'm not my sister. I am who I am. Appreciate me for the one I'm doing. Don't compare me. People don't like it. They don't know. They've confided in me that they don't want it. Don't compare children. They are not the same. You cannot have the same. You have 3 children. All of them they cannot be the same. The ones you even complain mostly about, sorry to say, are the ones with great skill, great life skills that you just need to harness. But no, you will be complaining. Why are you not gentle? Be gentle like your sister. Those qualities they have, they are the ones that, you know, we need in life. And so if you kill those spirits in them, then we don't have those qualities anymore. So please, let's appreciate people. When people do things around you, appreciate them. When people give you something, be grateful. Say thank you. You are welcome. And all those things, little things children pick. When we learn to say thank you, you teach your children, always say thank you. Don't say, okay, maybe you went to the supermarket, you went to get something, and the person gives you, and you say thank you. So no, why would I say thank you? Didn't I pay for you? I paid for it now. I bought a million. I gave you your money. So, you know, that was the kind of values we used to have in those days. When somebody gives you something in exchange, you went to a supermarket, thank you, you're welcome. But this time around, say no, thank you. Or else you even complain. Now, why is it like this? Why is it like that? After all, I paid for it. And these are the values we are transferring to our children. Please, let's be grateful. Let's appreciate the good in other people. This is also number 2 of emotional intelligence. You want your children to be great. You want your children to influence society. They need to be respectful. They need to respect other people's feelings. So they will not turn out to be bully boss that bully in the office. Number 2, they need to appreciate people when they do well, so you don't frustrate your workers. When you become managing director, you don't frustrate everybody working under you because you never appreciate them. They're always complaining. You say so that their head will not swell. Please, it doesn't bring out the best in anybody. Number 4, and that is number 3 under emotional intelligence. Peace. Peace is a great value. I think peace is also becoming archaic. Peace is also becoming archaic. We want fire for fire, revenge, back to sender, and all that. That cannot help us to keep the great society. Okay, please let's remember to mute our mics. Peace is superior to justice. Someone always emphasizes peace is superior to justice. Now, when your child comes from school or from wherever and says, "Mommy, This one did this to me today. You say, if somebody beat you, beat your own back. How many of us have said that to our children? If someone beats you, gives you 1, give the person 2, 3. You know, I will carry a bag, go for religious activities and all those things. And we are not following the commandment. When someone beats your child, say, give the person 2 back. What are we saying? We are saying the child should revenge. That is the value. Do you know that's the value you are teaching your child? You are teaching your child to revenge. Then you come back again and tell the child it's not good to revenge. Then the child is confused. Because in theory, you are telling the child don't revenge. In practice, you are telling the child revenge. Please, what do you want these children to do? They are confused. Are you telling them revenge? Are you teaching them the value of revenge? Let's know. If you're not teaching them the value of revenge, then be careful the kind of instruction you give to them. Because the instruction and the practical is not tallying. It's not, so the children will just be confused. Now, why do I say don't teach your child when they beat you, beat. When they do this thing? Because you as an individual will not do that. I have the privilege to speak to some children, and I see some of you ask this question: why? Why do you say don't revenge? Take for instance, you are walking on the road, and a madman slaps you. Are you going to slap the madman back? I asked the children, are you going to slap the madman back? They said, no, slap the madman. Okay, I said, what are you going to do to the madman? I will run as fast as my leg can carry me. I said, good. So, if somebody, you didn't do anything to somebody, the person just came and slapped you, or just something to you that you don't like, just know that the person is partially, you know, there are different types of psychology. What will I call it now? Mental, whatever, state. Just that the person has one note that is not complete. So don't see the person as a temporary mad person for that time. Don't say you will not slap your own back. I said, one, if it's a madman, you will not slap your own back. You run away. Two, if the person is a giant, like a comedy I watched, the mother told the, or the father told the child, if anybody beats you, come and call me, I will beat the person. If anybody beats you, come and call me. I'm your father, I have power. So the child went to look for trouble. You know children now. The child went to look for trouble outside on the road. Then the person was following. So the child was running towards the father, running. It was a comedy. But you know, I learned a lot from them. So the child ran fast to the father. So when the father saw the man, lo and behold, the man is a giant. The father ran away and all of them were running. So what's the moral of that story? You cannot beat that giant, and you expect your child to go after a giant and beat the giant. That person that beat that child might be, you know, more violent. You have not taught your child karate, taekwondo, boxing, and you are telling your child to go and fight outside. What of if that child is injured? I don't know if you get what I'm saying. We have to protect our children. So these things are emotional intelligence. What I'm supposed to teach that child is what? Emotional intelligence. What is the child supposed to do at that time if a child is bullying him or her? So if you don't know, you research, make research. Don't just make statements that will be confusing children. You come today, so don't revert. Tomorrow you say beat back. It's the same thing. So go and study. Find out, okay, this is emotional intelligence. What do I do? Somebody is bullying my child. How do I teach the child to handle it? You to remember you were bullied in school one time or the other, or you bullied somebody, either of the two. So how were you able to handle it? What did you do right? What did you do wrongly that you need to now use to help that child? Don't just say go back and beat the person that beats you. Because we've seen instances that the person beats the person and injured the person. So you don't want to expose your child unnecessarily to danger. In cases where they need to report to the person supervising them, either wherever they are, whoever is supervising them, you need to first of all report the case. Those people need to take the case off. Then your own child, the relationship your child will have with other parents also is very important. You don't want the situation by everybody where your child is just hate the child. So you want the child to be able to manage emotion, manage relationship. So how do I help my child to manage emotion? How do I help my child to manage relationship? Those are the things we should teach the children. Not to say once somebody slap you, go and slap the person back. No, that one will not work. Because you will not just go and do it and slap anybody. You will check whether that person, you are able to face that person. And again, you will still come back and say, don't revenge. Just revenge. So when somebody is behaving as if it's not okay, that person needs an attention. Yes, that person needs to attend to that person. Either a teacher, wherever they are, or nanny, or whoever is handling the case. You don't tell your children, if A beats you, your 2 children are at home. You say, if you have 2 children, Shola and Bisi, or Namdi and Ngozi, you say, Ngozi, if Namdi beats you, beat your own back. And you are not at home, and they start fighting, and they carry ball to carry this. Is that what you are teaching them? No, you have to teach them to learn, good values. You have to teach them to know what to do. If somebody is misbehaving, don't fight back. Look for a more superior wisdom to undo that misbehavior. So peace is superior to justice. Don't teach your children to be fighting back, because it can be very harmful. It can be very dangerous even to them. Much more than the person you want to fight, you want them to fight. Number 5 is integrity. Integrity is key, but when you just say integrity, you hear people saying, I have integrity, and they don't even know the meaning of integrity. When I came across this word integrity, I had to go and start looking for the meaning, whenever integrity starts with I, integrity starts with I, they have integrity, everybody has integrity, but do we all really have integrity? Before you will say whether you have integrity or not, the first thing you should check is the meaning of integrity. Okay, number 1 in integrity here is truthfulness. I put truthfulness in number 1. If you don't say the truth, you cannot say you have integrity. Integrity means truthfulness. You're saying the truth at every point in time, and you are impacting that truth in your children. You know, children, whether they look at you or not, they know whether you're saying the truth. Whether they have one kind of great instinct. I told the story of a parent. I was speaking with the child, and the child, I did not mention the parent's name. And at the end of the day, the child knew that I was talking to the mother. The child knew everything we discussed without hearing the other side. He was just hearing my own side. I was trying to code the conversation. But the child knew everything, and he told me, everything you heard, my mom is lying to you. I said, wow. And I did not tell the child to prove it to me. The child was so empathic. Okay, the child knows what he was a boy. He knew what he was saying. And so I did not bother. I was so ashamed of the whole thing. And so I just kept quiet. That the child was trying to prove to me. So if you transfer this kind of values to your children, lying, lateness, and you give excuses, say I lied because I wanted to bail myself out, I was late. That there will be 1,000 and one reasons to be late. When you are late, admit that you are late. When you have lied, admit to yourself that you have lied. Please, let's meet our mics, please. Let's meet our mics, please. Okay, so when we've lied, please admit to your child that you have lied. When you are late, don't give excuse. Don't transfer it to them. You are the one that is late. Are they the ones that are late? Are they the ones that will leave the house? Are you not the one that will take them out? So let's be truthful to our own selves and tell these children that, okay, these values, I was not able to achieve it, but it doesn't mean that they're not real. Okay, we are going to work together to achieve it. Okay, I lied yesterday concerning this because I was afraid. At times, somebody can make a mistake of saying a lie. because of fear. So it doesn't make it right. So when your child knows that, okay, mommy lied, she said it's not right, she said she was afraid, okay, so I need to work on that. You are building a good relationship with your child, and you are building great values in your child. But when you lie, and you tell your child you did not lie, it's not good to lie, the child is confused. Every day you tell your child it's not good to lie, it's not good to lie, and you are lying. So what do you want them to do? If there is a particular value you are struggling with, if your child knows about it, there's no problem with that. Let them know that, okay, we are all struggling with it, and we are all working towards that, we all achieve it, and we have rules guiding us. It's better than deceiving these children. You know, the danger is that when you deceive them, they will go out and say everything is jargon, everything is not true. If you give children values and you don't follow those values, and you don't admit you're not following it, they will think everybody is living in deception. So that is even more dangerous. So even when somebody outside wants to impact that value on your child, like your child goes somewhere now and says it's good to be truthful, the child says it's a lie. It's a lie. Nobody can be truthful. Nobody can. Even my mommy, she will be saying it. She's never truthful because of what the child has seen. So let's not be preaching without doing. And when you are preaching, and for one reason or the other, at the time you could not achieve it, say the truth. I could not achieve it at that time, even though I preach it. It was an error on my part, and I am correcting it. It's better than shying away from it. And the same thing applies to punctuality. Yes, it applies to punctuality. When you are now, we are late today, I'm the cause. Don't say you are the cause, you did not wake up early, you did not do this. Transferring all the blame on the children. You don't take any blame at all. It's dangerous. They will just take it that everybody is living in deception. So if you are late today, I didn't wake you up early. Take responsibility. Then the child will not say, no, mommy, me too, I did not wake up early. When you woke me up, I didn't answer. Two of you have shared the blame. It's better. It is better. That is how to impact values in children. We are late today. I'm the cause as a mother. I did not follow up on you people to be early. Then the children will feel sorry and say, mommy, we too, we are the cause. When you woke us up, we did not answer. That's how to lead children to great values. Take responsibility. And that's the next one. Take responsibility. Don't share responsibility. Don't be in the habit of blaming people. Once your child sees that, okay, when something happens, I can just blame somebody. Thank God. That is, you have given the child value. That's a value you don't know. Your child did not do well. Maybe in church, they give them memory verse. He did not learn the memory verse. Why didn't you learn the memory verse? Why did you not give us some time? You did to, I'm not supposed to have given us the memory verse 2 weeks ago, 1 month ago, 1 year ago. Then you go. You think you have escaped. You have not escaped. You have only taught your child how to give excuses. Then you come to school again. Assignment. The assignment. Why didn't you put some child's head to bring to school, to the house, so I can see it? Why did you just trade the blame? Everywhere you go, you trade blames. Then you have taught the children how not to take responsibility. So the children will be good at that. They will just be trading blame. When you tell them, why didn't you wash the plate? And they are giving you a excuse. Just know that you're the one that taught them. They'll give you 1,000 excuse. When he went out, I wanted to wash the plate. Then Nnamdi came, slapped me. Then this one came, he did. People want to kill these children. You don't know you are the one that taught them. You are the one that taught them. They learned it from you. So please, when we are doing it, they are watching us. When we don't want to take responsibility, they are watching us. When we don't come early, they are watching us. When we are not truthful, they are watching us. When we are not accountable, they are watching us. When we are not accountable, they are watching us. And all these, if we are able to achieve it, we become trustworthy. Able to be truthful to your child and do all these things. When you get it wrong, you call them, you say, I've gotten it wrong, my dear. But that doesn't mean it's not true. We still try again until we are perfect at it, until we are good at it. Then your child will begin to trust you. Your child will begin to know that, yes, this thing is doable. It's not that my mommy is telling me what is not doable. Then you can now say you are a honest person. So honesty, integrity, they are all big, big grammar. Before you can say you are honest, you have integrity, you have to look at all these things I listed here and even more. You can add to them. You can add to them because they're actually more than this. Okay? Please, let's meet our mic. Thank you. The next one on my list is, we have looked at respect for others, diligence, appreciation, peace, integrity, excellence. Excellence, excellence, excellence. Can I say this is my best? Oh, I can't really say, I don't know, but this is really very dear to my heart. Do we know that excellence is a value? And we need to teach our children, we ourselves need to have it, to have a good society. Excellence, without giving us big definition, we don't need big definition in this meeting. We just need to understand what it is. I'm not defining integrity, I'm just telling you what it is. Excellence is just means going the extra mile. Excellence just means being classy. Excellence just means being original. Excellence just means being exceptional. Excellence just means being superior. Excellence just means being creative and innovative, and so many more. So let's look at this critically. Going extra mile, classy, original. You are doing something that nobody has done before. You are doing something, you are doing it with extra mile. You are seeing a problem. That's excellent. You see a problem and you say, let me solve this problem. Because by the time you solve the problem, you are the first to solve the problem. That means you have excellence in that area. You see people doing things the same way and say, let me go extra mile. Let me put beauty to it. Let me put class to it. Let me put originality to it. Then you are excellent because you have gone extra mile. Excellence is a value that is lacking in our society. People just like to do things anyhow and go. No, you can decide, and your family and your children, I want to teach my children to do things well so that they can come to society to represent society aright. When they learn to do things well and they become leaders, they will be great leaders because everything they are doing, they are putting excellence to it. They are going extra mile. They are solving problems. They are giving superior ideas. That is the spirit of excellence. I was handling some children some time ago, and I taught them a song. Excellence is an attitude. Excellence is an attitude. I will do my work well, because excellence is my attitude. And the children really love the song. They sing it before we start the class. We'll sing the song because I know that their interest, I need to motivate them so that I can get the best from them. So I motivate them with that song. And I said, you have to be excellent so that you can do your work well. So these are the things we can teach children. And those children will become children that we want them to be. 7, great values. Number 7, love. Love is our cake. Even though we still mention the word love, 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 love. But real love is our cake. Because love means endurance. Love means patience. But endurance and patience are no more in our society. Nobody wants to be patient. Everybody wants to get it from the onset. Go. Nobody wants to fail in anything. You just want to be go, 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 get it right from the onset. If you are getting everything right from the onset, then you're not learning anything. Then you are not discovering anything. Because for you to discover anything in life, you have to fail sometimes before you can get it right. If you are just getting it right every time, that means you are not innovative and you're not creative. Because if you are creative, you have to be trying some things, fail, try, fail. But fail, as I'm saying fail, that's some person I reject in Jesus' name, I reject in Jesus' name. Because nobody wants to fail anymore. Nobody wants to fail anymore, so nobody wants to innovate. If you don't want to fail, then you don't want to innovate. If you don't want to fail, then you don't want to be excellent. You don't want to, that means you don't want to be the first in anything. For you to be first in anything, you have to have been trying it and failing before you get it right. So if you want to always get things right and you are teaching your children the same thing, that means you don't want them to be outstanding. If you are teaching your children that failure is a problem, failure is the end of the world. If you fail, if you have carryover, don't come home or just go and enter the lagoon. If you have carryover, just don't come to the house. Why are you telling your children that? Are you telling that they should not even do anything and make mistakes? Carryover is not good. I'm an educationist. I don't want my children to fail. But at times in life, in real life situations, so that failure, you should let your children understand the concept of failure. I was discussing with somebody, during a particular time we were, teaching, and the person said that it was an online school and the person wanted to, join our online school and all that. And the person was like, I didn't join from the beginning. So please let the children, they want but they're eager to write the exam because they're enjoying the program. They want to write the exam. But now that they didn't start from the beginning, what do we do? I said, let them do the exam. They will do their best and that's okay. They said, no, they cannot fail. They don't want to fail. Please, how can you do so they will not fail? Maybe you set the question, special question for them. I said, so what is the purpose of the exam? If I'm setting special question for them, I said, let these children know what it is. When they do it, they pass. You hail them. Say, even though you didn't start this with this school, and you still pass, you are a great boy. Then when you didn't do well, so I was counseling that if they didn't do well, you say, you see, it's because you did not start from the beginning. Look at it now. The ones you were there, you got it. That is how life is. At times, when you don't join from the beginning, it can happen. So it's an opportunity at that time, because your children are excellent children, they always pass exam. Now, one opportunity for them to fail is an opportunity for you, because the failure is not really important at that time. It's an opportunity to teach your children the concept of failure. There are times some people can fail. It might not really be your fault. But the woman did not agree with me. She said she doesn't want them to fail. It will affect their emotion. But that is not how to teach children emotional intelligence. Please, mothers are here. We need to take up a course on emotional intelligence, because the way we are doing it is wrong. Is wrong. Is wrong. You hear of children that fail and go and kill themselves. It's because their parents have taught them that failure is a taboo, that failure is the end of the world. It's not true. It's not the end of the world. So every opportunity your child has to experience failure at any point in time is for you to teach the child what failure is, how your child can overcome it, and all that. So please, let's teach them appropriately. So failure means endurance, patience. That means they can fail in a task and then learn from it, correct, and move on. Teach them endurance. Don't say, no, you have to get it right from the onset. Don't need for patience. Just get it, get it, get it. That's right where we are. You want to run fast. You want to be fast. You want to be fast. Jump the classes that you can jump. Whether you understand the concept or not, just fly, go, move. Hey, let's take it easy. People that have great achievements. I study people that, apart from the fact that maybe they are maybe genius, they do well at a very early age. It takes some maturity to do well. Let's allow the children to be matured for the tasks they are doing, so they won't feel frustrated. You don't allow your child to be matured at a particular point. You just want a child to pass is what is on your mind. Not get it. Let it always be, let my child get it. Be patient, get it right. It's not just to pass and go, but to get the concept, to understand, to have a mastery of it. We see children in primary school writing books. But when you ask them, how old are you? You see that they are 11, 12. And they have written a book. There was a particular child, I've forgotten his name. He is based abroad. He got an award for discovering something on the multiplication table. And I tried to find out, I discovered that the child was maybe 12 years or thereabouts. So they need a kind of maturity to be able to study the multiplication table, to understand the concept, to have a mastery of it. You don't just want to have children that are just mediocre. Just because you want them to be flying, go get it fast. No study, no endurance. kindness, giving. Nobody wants to give anymore. Taking is there to take. Take everything you can take. Don't give. So giving is part of something you can teach a child as a value. Givers never lack. Givers will always receive. So teach them to give so that they can always receive things, so that they can be blessed. Givers are blessed because they always have to give. It's better than receiving. Some of us don't understand that. When you are giving, it means you have. And when God, nature, sees that you are giving, so he sees you as a channel, that this person is a channel, so I have to be supplying this person so that he will be giving to those, he will continue to have to give. So you will always have. But if you are receiving, you will not have, you will just be receiving. So giving is better. As a giver, you are a channel. You give to people. So it's a stream flowing. You will always have it. So create that value in your children that they are givers. You should always be in the position of giving. So that's an orientation or a reorientation. Rather than saying they should always get anything you can get. No, give anything you can give. Forgiveness is still part of love, which is archaic. We don't want to forgive, and that's what is happening in our society. People want to revenge. People want to just revenge. Let's learn to forgive, and let's teach our children forgiveness is a great value. Finally, but not the least, last but not the least, is godliness. Godliness with contentment is great gain. All other things shall be added unto you. Do you know all these values we are talking about and some of us are struggling? We can just have it on a platter of gold when we learn godliness. Yes, I believe so much in that. When we learn godliness, is a shortcut to having great values. Under child care, we talked about dressing children properly, appropriately, taking care of them, making sure that you have extra clothes in their body for them to wear. Dressing children is a great value. I told you that value, it can be tangible or intangible. The kind of clothes they wear also matters a lot. Some clothes will expose their body. That's why they are falling ill every time. That's under child care. God wants us to cover our nakedness, cover our children. When you expose them, they are exposed to cold, exposed to diseases, exposed to germs. Let's be careful and conscious of the kind of clothes our children wear. It is still part of value. Don't say, I've not been brought up like that. I was brought up, we wear anything. You can decide to change now so that you can impart good values on your children. So that when your children dress and they go out, nobody says, what kind of a child is this? Which home is the child from? Even those we learn those kind of dressing from, they did not start that way. They just picked it up along the line. They lost their value. So why would you learn from someone that has lost his value? Healthcare. Some of us, we don't bother about immunization. We don't bother about anything. It's still part of it. I wish above all things that you prosper and be in health. Let's take care of the health of our children. The things that nobody's going to take care of the health of your child for you. Nobody's going to take your child for me. I will not take your child for immunization for you. There was an epidemic in a particular school, and almost all the children had cholera. They went to the hospital. Coincidentally, it was the hospital where I used, and they said they did not give them vaccines. And in this training, we talked about vaccination, immunization. Some of us will forget. Some, because of money, will not, and we have money to do other things. It's not as if we don't have the money, but we just feel immunization. How will I pay so much? And you ignore. How can your child be having mumps, having cholera, having all these diseases that have immunization? When you will not give them the correct dose. You will not give them the complete dose. Maybe you took dose 1, you didn't take 2. And that can still reoccur. If they tell you that there are 2 doses, 3 doses, make sure you complete them. We did that in the past. We talked about nutrition, giving the children healthy diet. It's still part of the things we are talking about. It's still part of the values we are talking about. What are the things you value? Do you value good food for your children, balanced diet? Do you value their health? Do you value all these things, or you just run helter-skelter as a mother? You don't have time for anything. Please, even God wants us to value all these things, wants us to place them in high priority. Don't say you are not used to them. You don't know. We can start now. It's never too late. Immunization now is up to 18 years. You can start giving your child today. You can start, even if your child is 8 years, go and find out the ones that your child can still take. Let's not take things for granted. Let's not blame other people for our errors. Let's focus on the important things. And I pray that as we do that, even God himself will help us. Today, we have looked at several values. Respect for others. I cannot be saying everything again, but those that were here know what we discussed. Diligence. Diligence, very important. You cannot say you are diligent when you are not punctual, when you are not committed, when you are not self-motivated. Appreciation is an archaic word. You need to learn to show appreciation to people, whether you are paid for the service or not, whether it's free or not. Teach your children to appreciate. Peace is more superior to justice. Don't teach your children to go and fight back. What of if the person they want to fight back and beat them up, injure them? You still tell them to go and fight back? No. Teach them superior intelligence, emotional intelligence, integrity. How can you say you have integrity when you cannot even say the truth? When you cannot come late, and when you come late, you cannot attend function and come early. You are not responsible. You don't like taking responsibility for anything. That is lack of integrity. And our children are watching us. They are watching the values we are giving them. Excellence. You go extra mile for your children. It's still part of the values. When your children see the way you go extra mile, the way you do project, the way you are concerned about their homework and everything, you are teaching them excellence. Not when you say be excellent, be excellent, be excellent. No. Teach them what excellent means. It means going extra mile. It means being creative. It means trying things. At times you might fail. Then you will now get it right. It means endurance. It means patience to be able to get something good done. Don't let them be skipping classes unnecessarily. Say, I just want my child to go to JS1. I don't want my child to go to university. And they ask the child, what happened in your primary school? I can't even remember. I was too small. When other people's children are writing books in primary school, other people's children are getting, great rewards in secondary school. But because your own children are too small, they are too frail, you don't even know the value of what they are doing. You just want to rush them through life. And they're not enjoying it. But you don't care because you just want them to run. You don't want them to be patient. You don't want them to endure. You did not give them those good values. Then what will become of them? Forgiveness. You are teaching them forgive in word, in mouth. But you're saying fight back. Don't forgive in action. Let's watch it. Finally, godliness. It's contentment. It's great gain. And all these values that we are designed will be added onto us. Thank you and God bless. That is where we are going to end the training today. And I'll stop here for us to ask our questions.